Hello, child of God. So here is part 2 of a video as I started the other day. Now, if you've not watched part 1, please do. This is part 2. Now, if we look at the case of the prophet Jeremiah, God, because of his connection, his contact, because of his relationship with God, God came to him and told him, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. And then if you are a student of your word, you realize that is when his prophetic ministry started. He started moving and all of those things, and even his training and some of those things started. We can look at another example in the man John the Baptist. John the Baptist was Elijah, the prophet Elijah, who was carried into heaven. Now, so what it means is simple. All the experiences of prophet Elijah, right up until the time he was carried into heaven on the chariots of fire, his ability to call fire down from heaven to burn the priest of Baal, to call fire from heaven to burn the sacrifice that was doused with water. His ability of stopping the rain or influencing the atmosphere. All that was in him through the Spirit God put in John the Baptist. All those abilities and know-how was already inside of him. All he had to do was connect to the Spirit God placed inside of him. Now, even at the age of 7 or 8 years, if there ever was a situation where all that experience Prophet Elijah had and the know-how of Prophet Elijah was required for John the Baptist, who was Prophet Elijah in another flesh, there was a need for him to use those abilities, he would have been able to still use them. All he needed to do was connect to the Spirit inside of him. And we look at Prophet Elijah's ministry. We looked at the ministry of John the Baptist. There are things he said it's going to be difficult to say. There were things he said to the Pharisees in their face. It's going to be very difficult to say. If you look at John the Baptist, a lot of the things he was doing were close to what Jesus Christ did when Jesus Christ started his ministry. So that's what I'm saying is that connect to the Spirit God has placed inside of you, because the Spirit God put in you before you were formed in your mother's womb, that Spirit God put in you, he knows a lot of things. He understands a lot of there are things the Spirit God put in you knows how to do. But when we come here on earth, a lot of people think the Spirit has to be controlled by the body. No. Now, if you look closely, look at the structures we have around us and all of that. That is what you are meant to believe, but it's not true. This human flesh, the body, it has to be receiving instructions from the Spirit God put inside of you, because the Spirit God put in you knows your purpose, knows your mission, knows your assignment. It knows how you are going to get there. It knows what you have to do to get there. So a lot of people come here on earth and they are lost because they buy into this narrative you find here on earth, and people are stuck on a certain tangent. This is the way. This is the way you have to go. That is the way you have to go. It's not true. It's going within. You see, so when any human being comes here on earth, any human being that really wants to fulfill purpose needs to re-establish communication with the headquarters. Needs a true, tangible, truthful encounter with God who put that Spirit inside of you. Because that is where certain things will be revealed to you. Because you, first of all, you even have to know who you are. If God has called you as a prophet, you have to go to him and let him tell you what kind of prophet he has called you after. You have to go to him. And this is why we're having a problem. And I've spoken about being sensitive to the spirit God put inside of you. Being sensitive to the spirit God put inside of you. Now, being sensitive to the spirit God put inside of you, there is a way that it is stopped. There's a way the spirit inside of you is disconnected or is disabled from being able to control the flesh, so that what? Other entities are the ones controlling the flesh for you. So a lot of people who feel trapped. A lot of people feel trapped. They feel trapped in life. They feel trapped. They think their life is not going anywhere. They are not able to make exploits. Your soul feels trapped. Your soul feels trapped because the soul in you has been disabled, has been stopped from being able to decide that I want to go left, I want to go right, I want to move from this place, I want to move to another state. And this is what the soul inside of you wants to do. When the soul is not able to control the flesh, it feels trapped, it feels caged. And that feeling of feeling trapped and caged also sets off another thing altogether. There's this deep, intense pain. That is not a physical pain. You feel it in your spirit. You feel it there's this deep, very painful thing that even taking a medicine will not solve it. So people move on to what? They move to addiction. Something to make them stop this feeling. The enemy has a way, and especially a lot of you who have, if you have a special assignment, a lot of the people, I'm telling you, a lot of people, the enemy has captured there. You see them on the streets, you see them in the ghettos. They have some of the very powerful assignments here on earth are the people that the devil keeps in those places. Because he says, oh, this guy, I can't let this guy come out. The devil holds them hostage. He said, this guy, I can't let this guy, I can't let this guy come out. The anointing on this guy, if this guy come out, my kingdom is finished. The anointing on this girl, when she stops standing on the street corners and she decides to do she decides to take up her mission, my kingdom is collapsed. The devil knows. He knows. So as I'm saying, one of the problems we see here when you come onto this continent, I don't know for other places, but one of the things that is prevalent on the African continent and wherever you find black people, even in Ghana, when you take 10 people off the street, you find at least 6 or 7 of them, their heart space is blocked because of trauma. Because of trauma, how they grew up, the kind of household they were in, things that were done to them when they were kids, and things they were exposed to when they were kids, the kind of difficulty, the suffering, the pain, and some of them is generational trauma. One of the sad things that we see is generational trauma that people don't want to do anything about. They just want to push it to the next generation. My father raised me this way, so I'm going to also raise you the same way. You're only transferring the trauma to the next generation. You are supposed to deal with it, solve it, so that the next generation does not have to go through the pain you went through. That we are not seeing that. A lot of the African parents want to transfer the trauma they went through because I feel that you should not succeed at it. A lot of African parents want to push the trauma to the next generation, and that is why it has continued for far too long. This is part 2. I want to come with part 3. And a lot of adults are not aware of it. And you can be whatever, you can be having whatever position, and still trauma will be living inside of you. I'm coming with part 3.